What's up, guys? Welcome back to another edition of Rath's Learning Curve. We got a CFB Learning Curve tonight. We got top 5 quarterback sleepers for college fantasy football this year, 2015. And some of these guys I did mention in the some of the other previous videos when we talk about top offenses, mid majors, things along that line. We're going to hammer down on 5 guys that I'm going to be looking at early on as far as pricing goes on all of the daily fantasy sites. So let's get into it. Number one guy I've got on my board is Matt Davis, SMU, 6'2", 211, dual threat. And, this is the guy that everyone's talking about. Chad Morris comes in from Clemson, very highly thought of offensive coordinator, has put up a lot of success with a lot of offenses, a lot of quarterbacks. So that's the number one guy that we're going to be looking at. Now, SMU was one of the worst teams in college football this last year. So, big things are expected to turn around this offense. The next guy I'm taking a look at is Ben Kurt of East Carolina. He's 6'3", 220. Now, the thing is, they had Shane Carden there for a number of years, and he was one of the number one top fantasy quarterbacks in college football. So Ben Kurt's going to step in. Carden's moved on. Justin Hardy's moved on. So he inherits, one of the best offensive in college football. So definitely a guy that we want to take a look at. And thing is, too, all this is going to be predicated on pricing and finding opportunity. A lot of these guys don't have very many stats from last year, whether they were transfers or whether they were just backups. And coming in, it's going to be very interesting to see where their starting salaries are at. That's really what this is going to determine where we're going to go. Next guy we're looking at is Michael Birdsong, quarterback from Marshall. He's 6'5", 240, transfer from James Madison. Rakeem Cato has been one of the best college fantasy football quarterbacks over the last 3 years. So Birdsong does inherit a tremendous offense at Marshall. And so here's the deal, though. Birdsong is not the same kind of guy that Cato is. So just be aware that Cato was more of a hybrid quarterback. Birdsong is 6'5", 240. So he's going to be more of a passing guy. He's not going to run as much. They have indicated that he is a good enough athlete where he can run some, but he's not going to be the kind of guy that Cato is. So we're looking at hopefully some more yards in the air from a guy like Birdsong. Next guy up, Matt Johnson, Bowling Green. He was out all last year with a hip injury. Prior to that, he had a really great season. So coming back in now, Bowling Green may not be listed on all sites. So this is going to be a site-specific play. So just be aware as we move into Week 1 college football. And the last guy we can look at tonight, Dane Evans, Tulsa. Again, another situation where a new head coach is coming into play. Philip Montgomery, the former offensive coordinator from Baylor that has made a lot of quarterbacks. A lot of hype over Dane Evans coming into the season at Tulsa. He's the number 5 quarterback sleeper that we're looking at for 2015 in college fantasy football. Thanks a lot for joining us. Stay tuned for another Rath's Learning Curve video where we talk about the top running back sleepers in 2015.